Welcome, foolish mortals, to another episode of the HitchHiking Hosts Show 101. I am your host, your ghost host, Wes Troop, and I am back with another history episode. Well, this week, where are we going to go in our time-traveling doom buggies? Oh, once again, back to 1955, Disneyland, where we're going to talk about the history. Well, we're also going to go to many other years in this history episode, because we're going to talk about one of the most popular attractions at all the Disney parks, because here we are, we're ready to talk about Dumbo The Flying Elephant.
I literally cannot believe I'm doing this. This brings my coolness down like a couple points. Or does it make it higher? Hey, are you serious, bro? Well, that's not the first time someone told me my lever didn't work. Hey, there we go.
One of the most beloved Fantasyland attractions in Disney parks around the world is Dumbo the Flying Elephant. The ride, of course, is based off of the 1941 animated film. However, the attraction we know and love today started out with a much different idea. The original version of the ride had a working title of 10 Pink Elephants on Parade. There would be 10 ride vehicles to represent the alcohol-induced pink elephants from the movie. The attraction would be an aerial carousel-style ride that would allow riders to maneuver the elephants up and down with a joystick, which operates as a hydraulic ram. The 10 vehicles were mounted on articulated armatures connected to a rotating hub. The elephants would rotate counterclockwise at a constant rate and would hold 2 riders per vehicle. The installation was manufactured by Arrow Development, who worked on a number of other Disneyland rides as well. The elephants were painted pink during their installation, however that didn't last very long. Walt Disney himself didn't really care for the idea of park guests riding in an attraction based on hallucinations and ordered the elephants to be painted gray. This changed the theme of the attraction greatly, and the vehicles would be based off of the Dumbo character instead. Dumbo the Flying Elephant was scheduled to be an opening day attraction, but that unfortunately didn't happen. The first batch of fiberglass elephants arrived at the park 3 weeks before opening day. Each vehicle weighed 700 pounds, which was way too heavy for a flying elephant. The attraction was quickly reworked and ended up opening about a month later, on August 16, 1955. The original ride vehicles had hinged ears, which were supposed to flap but failed due to mechanical problems. In 1957, a figure of Timothy Mouse was added to the central hub of the ride. He had a training whip and stood on a disco ball. Disco! Disco Mouse! Also in 1957, former President of the United States of America, Harry S. Truman, visited the park and politely declined a spin on Dumbo due to the elephant being the symbol of the Republican Party. In the mid-1960s, the vehicles were replaced and updated, and Dumbo's ears were given casts with no hinges for movement. During the 1970s, the attraction was planned to be expanded and renamed Dumbo's Circus Land, and was displayed in Disneyland Presents, a preview of coming attractions, but the idea ended up being canceled. There's also a circa 1915 band organ that occasionally provides background music for the attraction. This powerful instrument can be heard more than a mile away, so it's rarely played. Seeing how popular the ride was at Disneyland, it was a shoo-in to bring the ride to the upcoming Walt Disney World Park. Magic Kingdom's original version was slightly different from Disneyland's, as it debuted without the figure of Timothy on his disco ball, and no hats on the elephants either. Dumbo the Flying Elephant opened on Magic Kingdom's opening day, October 1st, 1971. A few months later, the elephant's hat and the disco ball were added to this version, but it took a couple years until Timothy popped up. Back over at Disneyland, the ride was given another slightly newer modification around 1978. In 1983, as part of Disneyland's Fantasyland's major remodeling, the ride was moved to where Skull Rock used to be, allowing Dumbo's original location to be a shortcut to Frontierland. It was completely rebuilt with a kinetic Toymaker-like design, although there were still 10 elephants and Timothy still held the whip. Whip it good! The third incarnation of the attraction also came in 1983 in Tokyo Disneyland. This version is a replica of Magic Kingdom's 1971 version and is the only version to still feature 10 flying elephants and Timothy spinning on a disco ball. It's also the only other park aside from Disneyland to have Timothy holding a whip. Back at Disneyland, the attraction was updated again in 1990 with the 16 rainbow-colored vehicles and Timothy's magical feather, originally intended for installation at Disneyland Paris, after an incident where a bracket support broke. Disneyland Paris's version would get sorted out eventually and debuted on the park's opening day, April 12, 1992. At the Magic Kingdom, the ride was updated with 16 vehicles and the new ride mechanism in 1993. However, it did not include a central water feature like Disneyland, Disneyland Paris, and Hong Kong Disneyland. The utilidors running directly below the attraction prevented the installation of water pipes necessary for the water features to operate. Also for this version, as well as its Disneyland Paris and Hong Kong Disneyland counterparts, Timothy's hot air balloon had red and white stripes rather than the rainbow stripes for the Disneyland version. In 1997, the attraction's queue was covered to provide shade and decorated with topiaries. Like other remaining 1955 attractions, one of the Disneyland Dumbos was painted gold in honor of the park's 50th anniversary in 2005. During that time, Timothy's magic feather was replaced by the whip in this version. A Dumbo ride vehicle was donated to the National History Museum of American History in 2005 for Disneyland's 50th anniversary as well. The fifth version of the ride opened up in 2005 at Hong Kong Disneyland on September 12, 2005. The Magic Kingdom version of Dumbo had some huge changes made just a few years back when Fantasyland underwent a large expansion and renovation that began in 2011. The new Fantasyland was constructed in phases and included areas dedicated to The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and of course, Dumbo, in the Storybook Circus section where some of Mickey's Toontown Fair used to be. It was revealed that this new version of the ride would feature 2 Dumbo carousels to better suit rider capacity, as well as an interactive queue. Storybook Circus began its soft openings on March 12, 2012, including one of the 2 new Dumbo carousels. The southern end of Storybook Circus had a delayed opening on March 21, 2012. During the soft openings, it was also revealed that the new attraction received the water features that had been included with the attraction in many other Disney parks around the world. However, unlike the other versions, an additional effect occurs at night when the fountain lights change colors, an effect that was picked up from the Disneyland version, but with more colors. The Dumbo vehicles are greatly detailed and colored, and now spin clockwise from the original version, which was reconstructed next to the new one that soft opened June 22nd. The 2 rides therefore counter-rotate from each other. The attraction also features a new soundtrack and artwork panels at the bottom of the carousels that tell the story of Dumbo, much like the Prince Charming Regal Carousel. However, a new central hub was introduced that lacks the hot air balloon with Timothy Mouse and the magic feather. This figure has been moved to above the attraction's marquee. The indoor queue is themed to the Big Top from the film. Inside, guests receive ticket-themed pagers where they can wait until prompted, and small children can play in the play area themed to Dumbo's fire rescue stunt scene. At all versions of the ride, except for Paris, an extra ride vehicle is provided outside of the queue, making it easier for guests to take photo ops. Tokyo's photo op vehicle is different, as it's dressed in the regular outfit from the movie with a pink saddle blanket and Timothy in his hat. The latest version of the ride opened just a few months ago at Shanghai Disneyland on June 16, 2016. Unlike the other parks, this installment of the ride is the only version that is not placed at the park's Fantasyland. Instead, it's found at the Gardens of Imagination and features a dome which houses the attraction. While a simple ride, Dumbo the Flying Elephant has become one of Disney's most recognizable rides, as well as a favorite among park guests, young and old, all around the world. So, Dumbo the Flying Elephant, I will admit I have been on it twice in my entire life, and that was back the Storybook Circus version, as you saw in the video. That was the first time I ever rode it. And I rode it twice that vacation. I've never ridden the Disneyland version. When I go there, I don't know. I never rode it as a kid, I guess because it was always a long wait. You're always going to see a decent wait for Dumbo. Many people go right there first with little kids. It's one that the whole family can ride, especially the little kids. They love it. I think it's fine. It's, a normal theme park ride. There's nothing too special about it. I like the theming of Dumbo. I like the Timothy Mouse. But, it's fine for what it is. I have nothing against it. I really like the Storybook Circus version the best of all the Dumbos that I've seen, at least. And I like the indoor queue. Yeah, I think it's perfectly fine. The double carousels really help the weights go faster. So yeah, if you have young kids that have never been to the parks before, I would definitely suggest Dumbo is a great ride to start them on. As it's nothing scary or anything like that. I had problems trying to figure out the joystick though. I don't know what was up with that. I had a broken elephant or something. My elephant was not responding well that day. So, I'm going to have to go back on and ride it again, and hopefully I won't look like the only person riding on the ground. It makes for a good video, though. So, yeah. So, Dumbo the Flying Elephant, a perfectly fine, popular ride at the Disney parks. Alright, well, that's the show. I'll be back with another episode next week, as well as another Trending Topics episode in the next couple days. So be sure to look out for that, where we're going to go all over all the Disney news that happened this week. But until then, don't forget to subscribe right here on YouTube. YouTube.com/HitchHostShow. You can like the show on Facebook, Facebook.com/HitchHostShow. Follow on the Twitter @HitchHostShow. And of course, if you want to listen to the show, or you are listening to the show, you can do it on Podbean, HitchHostShow.podbean.com, or search for the show on iTunes or Stitcher under West Troop, or the HitchHiking Host Show. Until next time, don't forget to
hurry back for the next episode. See ya.